Good afternoon, Cary Rotary Club.
Good afternoon.
Happy Mardi Gras. I don't know if anybody has any Cajun blood in them. I can't speak the French, so I'll just leave it with the happy Mardi Gras. It's great to see everybody today on the 1st of March, a beautiful afternoon. I'm going to ask in just a moment for Mr. Bob Lyerly to lead us in the prayer and the pledge. So Bob, hang on one moment. Go ahead, Bob.
Please join me as we bow our heads for a moment of prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, we ask that you be with us this day and every day, and all the things that we think, say, and do. We ask that you guide us each and every day so that we may see the sunrise, may execute an opportunity to help someone, may learn something that will be beneficial, and that we may see the sun set. We ask your comfort and protection for our men and women in uniform, our military, our police, our fire and EMS, and our doctors and nurses, that they may save lives and provide a healthy environment for us to do our work. We ask that you give the world's leadership a sense of calm and deter escalations in a world that should be a better place than we are experiencing today. We thank you for the food we are receiving and acknowledge those that prepared and served it for the nourishment of our bodies and the energy to do good in the world as Rotarians. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate that. Now I'd like to call on Dr. Charlie Mann to introduce some guests and visiting Rotarians.
Thank you, President Bob. We have some guests today, but we have members that want to introduce them. Tim is first on.
All right. I'd like to introduce you all to Dale Levesque. Dale lives in Apex, but he works about halfway between Apex and here. He went on the international web page to Rotary and said, I'd like to go talk to somebody. And so the district was asking me to do some work on membership. We got a chance to go speak and talk. I said, come on, go look at the club. I said, think maybe you want to look at a couple of clubs. Long look at ours, short look at other people. Rude. But Dale Levesque.
Excellent. Welcome.
Welcome, Dale.
Any of you guys are looking at cloud work in your business? By the way, that's a technical term.
Thank you.
I did too.
Thank you.
But anyway, this is Mr. Cloud.
Excellent.
All right, Bob, you're on next.
All right, well, thank you, Dr. Mann. I wanted to welcome back Brant Rubin. Brant joined us last week for his first visit, and we didn't scare him away, so I'm really pleased to have you back and join us again, Brant.
Thank you.
Want to say a quick word?
Yeah, I'm excited to be back. I had a really good time getting to know a couple folks here, and as Bob said, I'm back for more, so I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. And I'd also like to welcome and reintroduce Aiden Jones. Aiden's joining us. Aiden's a Rotarian from out of town. I'll let you.
Been down here a couple of years now, and looking to re-engage with Rotary. I'm a past president over in New Jersey. So, thank you for having me.
Welcome, Aiden.
Thanks for three guests. Come again.
All right, and I do want to just say Aiden is working with Harold Bennett. So Harold's online today, so I did the introduction on it. So hope I didn't mess it up. Just a couple of very quick items of club business. You may have seen in my invitation last week, the Carolina Hurricanes, the third best leading team in the National Hockey League so far this year. We've planning our annual outing. We've got acquired tickets for the March 31st game against Les Habitants Canadiens. Now you know why I didn't go for the French on the Mardi Gras, the Montreal Canadiens. We've got lower sideline tickets. They're about $100 discount off of face value. And we're going to have a group of at least 30 Rotarians and guests that will join. So please, if you have an interest, raise your hand. Let either myself, Don Finkliner, or where's Don? There he is, or Eric Schmidt. For tickets.
If we had signed up on the last one, you just keep us signed up.
Yeah, I'll get back. So, but I don't want to charge you unless you're still going to go. So if you signed up for two, I think, right, Jim? One, I'll put you down. Okay. Also, I wanted to just let you know, a reminder, you've probably seen some communications about the Rotary visit to the Boys and Girls Home for the District 7710, and I guess it's 7730, is it? That is further east, does an annual visit to the Boys and Girls Home out at Lake Waccamaw. That's also where the RILA will be held in April. So if you have a free board, isn't it RILA held at the Boys and Girls Home? No. I retract my prior statement. I move for approval to revise and extend my prior remarks. It's still a great place. The district supports it very highly, and there's a visit out there with a paid lunch to check out the ground. So if you're free on March 26th, I encourage you to do that. Any other club announcements? How about miracle moments? Do you have any miracle moments today? All right, well then let's get to it. Can I ask Leon Abbas to come forward and introduce our speaker today? Leon.
Thank you, Mr. President. Vitaliy Bezrodnov is our speaker today. He's not here. He's on the road, so he's joining us online. Vitaliy was born in Kazakhstan and then migrated to Russia. From there, he migrated and ended up in Ohio, where he became acquainted with Rotary. And while he was there, he started an organization at the Rotary Connecting Fund for children or something like that. And he later moved to the Fuquay area, and he's now a member of the Fuquay Downtown Club. His real accomplishment is in starting an organization of which he's the coordinator and has been from the outset, to a cultural exchange effort to bring people together. And according to what I have here, he's coordinated over 40 groups from different countries, and it's just over 1 million people, one way or another, have been affected by his work. He was the progenitor and now the leader of a matching grant effort, of which our club is a supporter, to a medical effort in Kiev to help infants who have medical problems. I don't know the technical side of it, but it's the only facility in the Ukraine to help these babies. And if they are not treated, they simply won't survive. And so we're very pleased to support that effort. And he's with us now online to share with us where he is now and what he's doing. So you're on, Vitaliy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the great introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, I prepared for you the presentation. It's nice to be here. I'm not computer whiz, not the guru of computers. I'm just a musician, but I put together a presentation for the best experience of this presentation that I will broadcast from someplace in the northern part of Michigan on the border of Canada. I hope you enjoy this one. For the best experience, put me in the speaker view so you see me on the full screen, because there will be some things will be changing in my background. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure, and I've been in your club before. I brought the different groups to your club before, as much as I remember. So I know that I'm at the great club with the great people. I know that you're doing great things for the local community. I know that you're involved in international projects. I would like to start my presentation with those words. I'm very proud to be one of you, one of 1.2 million Rotarians around the world. And my presentation today will be about an organization called RCF. It started as Rotary Children's Fund. Now it's changed to Reunite Cultures Fund. And just wanted to be clear in the beginning of my presentation that Rotary has great youth exchange program. I mean, we all know about that. We do, as an organization, nonprofit, we do work with the young people from different countries, but we are not youth exchange. I want to keep it clear. So Rotary had great GSE, group study exchange program, even in our district. And I've been involved many times when the groups to our district came from Argentina, from France, from Belgium. I've been involved and traveled with the groups, and I traveled to different countries as well. Great program, but our organization is not part of that either. Rotary has great friendship exchange program. And maybe some of you involved with that. I've been in Croatia with the team from our district, had such a fantastic time. I want to be there again and again. And I signed up to be in the committee in our district for the friendship exchange because it's a great program. Recommend anybody to get involved. But we are just one of those organizations that started by a Rotarian or the Rotary Club. Because I truly believe the power of Rotary is each one of us with the success and experience behind us. When one of us, when a Rotarian come up with a great idea and other Rotarian support, most of the times we're successful. One of the greatest success story of the modern time is the Polo Plus. It started as a good idea to make the world a better place to be, and this is how far we went. So, organization that I will be talking about is one of those that was inspired by Rotarians, put together and organized by Rotarians, and run by Rotarians. Since everybody Rotarians here, and I did this presentation over 450 times for the last year and a half. I would like to relate my program today to four-way test. I'm sure that everybody knows that, but I just wanted to make sure how important is that fifth thing for this particular club, to have it fun. I hope it is important, because when we do have fun by doing good things, we can do more of that in this world. So let's keep it there for now. Is it the truth? Truth about what? About organization, about the program, about the presentation that I'm doing right now. To be able to better understand where I'm coming from, you need to know a little bit about my background, because you know the situation in the world, and I'm originally from Russia too. So I think you should need to know a little bit of background. I was born on the south of the Soviet Union, sometimes right there in the south of Kazakhstan. I was raised there. When I got 15, I left my home, went through the music school, music college, music conservatory in Russia, and traveled around the world. By my 20th, I've been everywhere. And sometimes in the beginning of the 90s, we got a chance to come to United States as cultural exchange. We toured through the United States, had a great time. When there was time to go back home, a friend of mine said, stay a little bit longer, see a little bit more of America. And I realized there probably will not be another chance to come to United States. So I stood a little bit longer and a little bit longer and a little bit longer. Eventually, I immigrated to United States. That happens. I mean, we all immigrants here. We came this generation or few generations before. So when I found myself in my 20th here in the United States, I thought, what can I do? What should I do? I'm a musician. I put together a music group called Moscow Nights. And this group became pretty popular pretty quickly. We started tour and travel like crazy, performing in performing arts centers, colleges, universities, concert series, festivals. I think we were pretty good. People said that we were good. We definitely were different, because playing this kind of big instruments, there's no many groups like that playing this instrument. So we had a great success traveling through the United States, going to the Europe, Alaska, Hawaii, everywhere. We perform in the Disney World, perform in the Dollywood. I'm sure you know about this wonderful place that is not too far from us, right? So we invited to the parties and the private events for the famous people, like, oh, this is Dolly herself. Yeah, she's a very nice person. Actually, I met with her team many times at the Rotary conventions. She has her own literacy program with the Rotary, as you know. So by touring, we did lots of work, and it's kind of became a kind of a routine. But one day in 1995, we got an invitation to make a presentation at the meeting. It was in Denver, Colorado. Nothing different for us, but good friend of us who we respected very much said, pay attention, great people will be gathered there. So it was kind of intriguing. In the end, it worked out that it was a Rotary convention, not convention, but conference. There was around 600-800 people, and there's many Rotarians from Russia and Eastern Europe. We were invited there to make a presentation because there was lots of Rotarians from that part of the world to make them feel comfortable. So we did the presentation, and we pretty much done with it. It was successful. And then we were offered to stay there as guests. It's a pretty normal thing for us, for Rotarians, to be hospitable, right? So we sat down at the table and started to listen what the serious people will be talking about. We didn't have any idea. Things that I heard at that meeting changed my life. I'm pretty sure that every one of you had your reason to join Rotary. Maybe you joined Rotary because you heard about wonderful things that Rotary does around the world and you want to be a part of it. Maybe you saw that this club doing great things for community and you want to participate and join Rotary. Maybe you just got a call from Bob and he said, come in, join our group. We have once a week meeting, good lunch, and great people here, and you join Rotary. I don't know. My reason was right there at that meeting. I was listening this conversation. One of the club in that crowd stood up and said, ladies and gentlemen, Soviet Union collapsed, new government is not there. We've been in Russia. We connected with a Rotary club in the eastern part of Russia, in Siberia. There's lots of sick people there, hospital, there's doctors, but they don't have much equipment to help those people. Anything as Rotarians we can do to help those people. Another club stood up and said, we've been there as well. We prepared. We have the medical equipment for $5 million. Local hospital did renovation. We would like to contribute it to this project. Only problem will be how to deliver there. Another club will stood up and will say, guys, we have a connection with the Air Force. Give us 2 weeks, give us equipment and consider it done. And speaker said, done. Let's move to the next topic. When I heard that, it put goosebumps on my skin because I realized I am in the group of the great people with the success, experience, and a goodwill to make the world a better place to live in. I want to be one of those people. I want to learn about organization, join organization, and if there's a chance, I would like to contribute by being a part of this organization. So that was my introduction to Rotary. I moved to Cleveland, Ohio. Before that, I lived in Boulder, Colorado. By playing accordion, Cleveland was a pretty good place to be for accordion player because everybody knows accordion, people love it. So when I moved to Cleveland, I was introduced by the one district governor to another district governor, and I became the youngest member of the Lakewood Rocky River Rotary Club on the west side of Cleveland. Youngest member. It was pretty big club, around 150, 200 people will meet at the meeting, and I was the youngest one there. Let's say youngest one. The next person by the age at the club could be my grandfather at that time. But I knew I'm in the right place with the great people. There's a lot I can learn from them. So as soon as I became the member, there was a relationship that I got involved pretty quickly. Many years ago, I guess there was some veterans in that clubs who in 1945 met with the Russian army on the Elba River. So many years passed. In the 90s, veterans from both sides got in touch with each other, started to communicate, and our veterans and some of them Rotarians went to Russia to meet with Russian veterans. I knew from the research that my grandfather was on that group on another side of the Elba River in the end of the World War II. And when our veterans and some of them Rotarians went to visit to Volgograd, former Stalingrad, they had a great visit. They came back, they said, we had a great visit, and we started their Rotary Club. Later on, it became pretty popular Rotary Club of Volgograd. And when Rotarians from Volgograd started to come to the United States, by being a youngest member of the club, I became a translator, entrepreneur, driver, host, and I was happy to be it. And when the people from different sides of the Iron Cold War got together, met with each other, and made such a good friends, it's made pretty good idea that you cannot fool those people when they have the personal connection. You cannot teach them and tell them that they cannot have a good relationship and they have to look at each other only as enemies. So that was pretty clear. To me, it was a sign. If this kind of experiences could really make the difference and improve relationship between people in the countries, maybe we can systemize this kind of experience. So I had an idea. I proposed it to the club. Senior members of the club supported me. Committee organized. We met a number of times. And in the end, on August 27, 2003, fully formed and registered Rotary Children's Fund was funded by the Rotary Club of the Lakewood Rocky River. Idea of this organization was improve relationship between people in the countries, let people better understand each other, and coordinate the cultural exchanges between countries. I actually had a great chance to present this when we started to work in the presence of the Rotary International president at that year. I'm not sure if you remember that meeting. To me, it was a pretty memorable event to meet with the president and have a little speech. So when we started to bring groups from one way and another through the border from different countries, we thought first organizations will step forward and help us, but no, it didn't really work out that way. We really had to work out the system, get in touch with the clubs, with the organizations in different countries, select young people, create the opportunity for them to go from over the border and promote their country, culture, history, traditions of their country in different countries. So in the end, the main activity for our organization became Golden Gates International Cultural Exchange Program. And Golden Gates, why we called it Golden Gates? Not because Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. No, no, no. Remember, I was living in Cleveland at that time. There's no Golden Gate Bridge in Cleveland. Not Golden Gate structure. By the way, this is Kyiv, capital of Kyiv. I've been there, and it's over 800 years old structure. It's called Golden Gates. Not even that, but because one of the first groups who came in as to participate in the program was the group called Zolotые Vorota, translated to English, Golden Gates. What's that mean? Gates to your heart to heart, soul to soul connection. When you tell somebody, I want to be your friend, you don't lie. You truly respect your friends, you trust your friends, and you support your friends. Without that would be appropriate name for the program. Is it fair to all concerned? If we're talking who's concerned in this organization, this program, I guess participants are the most concerned people. Since 2003, we had over 500 young people who came in. We had over 40 different countries participated. Each country, when we select young people, connect with the Rotary Club, come to the United States, travel between 15 to 25 states, put together between 6 to 12,000 miles per tour, and each group on a pre-arranged arrangements will prepare and present the program for up to 50,000 people per tour. Overall, we reached over 1 million people in the live audience, people who just came in to see them in person. It was easy to start with Russia because at that time, remember, the veterans got the connection and this is how it started, but other countries immediately joined. And the Ukraine, the groups from Ukraine been here a few times, and every time when they come in, they came to the North Carolina as well, UNC Chapel Hill, UNC Wilmington, they went to Duke University, NC State, and they did the presentations. Maybe they even been in your club. We just finished the tour from Armenia, and it's also quite a few times we traveled with the groups from Armenia. A few times we had the groups from the Baltic countries, from Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Belarus. That the guy who is right now in charge of the country doesn't let the young people go through, but we planning to bring the group from there because U.S. Embassy supporting us. Groups from Kazakhstan, groups from Georgia, and many other countries. And every time when we prepare the groups to come in, we actually put together the program so they present the tradition, culture, music, history of their country. Actually, we had the group from Kazakhstan because the Minister of Culture of Kazakhstan invited our organization. We flew to the capital, prepared the group, and started to travel. Every time when the groups come in, we make sure that they get the great experience of United States as well. And by visiting the national monuments, national museums, local museums, going from coast to coast, they get a great experience of the United States and really learn what the United States is about. Because when they learn a little bit of history and what U.S. values are for the people, most of them, they just fall in love with the United States and with the people. When we put together the program for the group to present, around 65 or 70% of programs that each group present happen in the public schools, colleges, and universities. Before we come to the schools, and the United Arts here in the Wade County support this program for over 15 years. Before each group comes, we put together a study guide that thick. We gather all information about this country, history, tradition, and everything related, send it to each school, each class, each place that we're going to perform. So the kids learning for a couple of months about this particular country before the group come and present the finalize the study. From the things that you heard so far, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Will this kind of program build a goodwill and better friendships? Difficult to imagine when it will not. When these young people come, they visit with you, they stay with you, they present at the club, they visit the schools, they visit the communities. There couldn't be better connection and understanding for those countries and connections, because all these young people, when they grow up, they actually becoming the leaders of their country, and they will set up the relationship between our countries. But will it be beneficial to all concerned? If we're talking over 500 young people who participate in the program, for each of them, most of them, chance to come to the United States and see all these things, it's so rare. They probably, most of them have better chance to become astronauts and go to the moon in their own country than chance to come to the United States and see all these things. But here they come, they travel, they see, they enjoy, they make so many friends. It's absolutely beneficial to them. What about our kids in the schools? You think it's beneficial to the kids to get this kind of involved with this kind of program? From the things that we hear from teachers and from parents, it's absolutely fantastic opportunity to learn and experience other cultures, other backgrounds, the history. Because I mean, I have 3 kids and they go into the Wade County schools. So I know that there's no chance that they can actually learn about other countries in the school programs itself. Colleges and universities, I guess it is important because Well, we get so many invitations, and right now we just, as a matter of fact, just set up the performance in UNC Chapel Hill in the April with another group. But all these colleges and university feel that that is important. So we do visit many schools, different festivals through the United States, feel that they're good representatives of their culture. So we visit many of them, and the different churches always invite the group because they want to show and teach young people how we live, what the values are. Believe me or not, but the most people who appreciate this program and value that are senior citizens. They like the culture, they like the energy. And so every time when we set up the program, we always try to set up the programs for the senior communities to present it to our respected senior citizens all the way through the country. And every time when we plan the tour, when we get in touch with the young people to bring them around, we get in touch with you, with the Rotary clubs, because we asking if you would be interested to bring this group to the club to do the presentation of the club, maybe set up something for the local schools, maybe something for the seniors in the area, something for the community, set up the event, bring the community together and let people know that this is just one of the ways that we connect the world, because we're doing our part. You see what's happening in the world. If we could have more chances to do this kind of connections, maybe we could avoid those kind of conflicts. Every time when we plan something, I heard about the Boys and Girls Clubs. Every time when we plan the tours, we always try to visit Boys and Girls Clubs, summer camps, places that supported by the Rotary clubs through the country, and performing everywhere, and performing arts centers, concert halls, festivals. We've been supported by the different people like, oh, this is Senator Durbin from Illinois, and like congressmen, different mayors of the different cities, and different embassies of different country. So we usually finish our programs in Washington, D.C. We do the presentation at the embassy and the media highlight. This is the true cultural ambassadors, and Rotarians lead the way. Rotarians keep it managing. We get lots of publicity every time when we have chance to do the publicity. We always put it out. Rotary Club support this, Rotary involved in this, Rotary is leading the world. So it's kind of chance for us to take the word out and let people know what we're doing. Is anyone who's here had chance to go to Rotary conventions before? I'm sure most of you did. When you go to the conventions, if you've never been, you should go there. When you're in a crowd of 10, 15, 20, 25,000 people, when you're there, you really feel that force. Good force is there. And when you're there in the crowd, you really can feel, see, and hear how much Rotary put the energy and resources to bring young people into the organization, to raise the next generation of Rotarians here. For example, this convention in 2018 in Toronto, if you've been there, remember that moment in the closing, then there are 15,000 of us at the auditorium, and there was a moment when there's around 200-300 Rotaractors will run along the aisle to the main stage, will make lots of crazy noise. Do you remember that moment? Nothing special. Young people making noise, what's that? But that is important. We see them, we hear them, we feel them. Young people with us, they're following us. So we have the future. What about other convention? Hamburg, Germany, remember that one? Remember that moment at the convention, it was pretty big convention, when young people will come on the stage one by one with the flags of their country and will say, this is our country, Rotary is there, and we are proud to be part of that. So that is important, to bring young people in. I think we're doing a pretty good job with this program, bring young people in. When they come in, when they meet with you, when they learn during the tour about their organization, they're already part of us. They go on big, they join the Interact, Rotaract, eventually they join Rotary. For example, we're talking about Ukraine, right? Because I heard that you're talking right before the meeting. This group behind me is a group from Ukraine. We toured around the United States with the different groups a couple times. When they came back to Ukraine, they fell in love. They got the idea of Rotary. They got in touch with the club, with the district. They organized 50 people Rotaract club. And they already did some projects that they already got some awards for. And this project that we will be talking about, the medical things for the hospital, they were involved and they were pushing things through as well. So, it's pretty good thing to move people through. You probably have questions how this kind of organization is managed, how you guys put all, there's so many buttons to push to connect everything, and how you're being sponsored. We don't have any sponsorship from government or from the one or another organization. We pretty much build the tours and we convince people and organizations. This program makes difference. It's improved relationship between people and the countries. We got support from arts organizations, from the individual people, private organizations. We got support from private foundation, through the private funds from the Rotary Foundation. Barry Phillips is the big supporter of this program, and we appreciate it. Different universities, Walmart is sponsoring events through the country. We did travel for so many years. We did killed 3 vehicles. One of those died when it had over 300 miles on it, and we had some problems. And we needed the reliable vehicle because once it was broken in Manhattan. Can you imagine being in a 15-passenger vehicle with a trailer with the 15 young people and being broken in Manhattan? Oh, there was so much pain. But few people heard about this program and said, guys, you need to have a reliable vehicle to continue the program and throw something in the bucket. Some of the clubs said, we would like to support you. Oh, some other Mercedes-Benz actually came out and said, guys, you're traveling, you're doing important work. We would like to fulfill our responsibilities. Mercedes-Benz or Fayetteville. We would like to provide you a vehicle completely free. We will support it and do the diagnostic and fixing up before each tour. And we will shine it up before each tour when you come into the dealership. Fayetteville, Mercedes-Benz. It's difficult to believe that these things can happen, but yes, it did happen. We got the 15-passenger vehicle. It's sitting right here and waiting when the pandemic will over, and we'll have chance to bring different groups from different countries everywhere in the United States and to your club as well. When we raise more money than we need on each tour to cover expenses, we give it to them fund. Keep it in the fund and give it to other Rotary clubs to do the other projects. One of the clubs used our money to buy the drying and washing machines in the orphanages in Chile. Another club used our money and bought the shoes for all kids in the orphanage in Bulgaria. We sponsored the fresh water well in Africa. And the latest project, and Mary was involved in that, is a $54,000 equipment, medical equipment to Ukraine that we applied to the Rotary Foundation, Heart of the Europe. We got it, we're being approved, money was seen, and this equipment will be used for many years to do the operation to the newborn children. So with a certain disease, they will have a vision. Without that, they will be handicapped. So we appreciate everybody. Mary, thank you for support. Thank you to your club for the support. We moved it through, we've been approved. Money sent there. In the 2 months, we have the number of people keeping an eye on that. In 2 months, the equipment should be installed. The staff will be trained. And we're planning together, the group of Rotarians, go in the summer, in the June, to Ukraine. I hope that everything will be normalized and travel around Ukraine, join the celebration for the district in the Dnieper city. Rotary district has a big anniversary, and visit and inspect the equipment in action. So I'm inviting you to participate in this trip. I hope that everything will be normalized by that. So right now, just talking about that. So ladies and gentlemen, in the future, when one of the groups will come into the area to North Carolina, I would encourage you to pay attention, come and visit one of their programs. Show your support, or maybe even think about to host them for a day or two, so they have chance to bring their program to the schools for your kids and grandkids, do something for the seniors, do something for the city, for the community. You're probably thinking, how we talk with them if we host them? They're from different countries. Don't worry. One of these universities, Miami University, supporting the project, and the students taking few months free classes at universities, so you and them feel comfortable when you meet to communicate with each other. And if from this presentation you got the feeling, oh, this is just a fun tour opportunity for young people to travel, you're probably wrong. Just think about that. Traveling for 4 or 5 weeks, 10,000 miles, performing so many performances for 50,000 people. Things happen. Sometimes tire blown off, and you're just in the middle of the night fixing it. Sometimes somebody breaks the leg. Everything changes then. Sometimes somebody gets the flu. Can you imagine that? If one gets the flu, everybody gets the flu. But nothing stops. Show must go on. After 4 or 5 weeks is over, the groups go back home with so many friends, with so many performances and the visits, so many emotions. They go back, they're tired. With the time change, they often sleep for 2 weeks. And then for years, they will call me and you back, saying thank you, Rotarians, for the great experience that they got that made such a big impact on their life and will stay with them for all their life. I've been with the groups many times before from different countries. I've seen the effect of this program over and over again. I can tell you 1,000 times, ladies and gentlemen, this program and this organization, if you get involved in any way, is truly opportunity for service above self. If you'd like to learn more about organization, you can visit the YouTube channel, sign up, subscribe there. You will see the videos from all the groups. Then they travel, they make the videos. Then we gather all the videos from all the phones, put it together and put it there about their experiences and about your hospitality. You can visit and subscribe to the Facebook page, and you'll be one of the first to know when the next group is coming in. We have the website address. It's a reuniteculturesfund.org or the Rotary Children's Fund.org. It goes to the same place. And if you subscribe there, send us email, we will make sure that you will know when the next group is coming. So ladies and gentlemen, while young people on the background of me from different countries will tell you, Rotarians, thank you for that great experience that they got to come to United States, learn about United States, learn about Rotary, learn about people in the United States, and giving them opportunity to proudly represent their country, their culture in the United States, build another bridge between their country, United States, build another bridge around the world. I will be happy to take any questions because we have the groups just line up. We're just waiting for the situation get a little better. And we would love to have you aboard. We would love to visit your club and have your participation, have a great experience in this program. Any questions, if you have, I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. I hope you enjoyed the program.
Thank you, Vitaliy. It's a great presentation. And I would suggest that anyone online, go ahead and ask your questions in the chat and we can pass them along to Vitaliy. We've got just a couple of minutes for a few brief questions. I'll give the same coaching to anybody in the room. If you have a question, I'm happy to pass it along. I think I'd be remiss, this is not a fair question to ask you in the last 2 minutes of a meeting, Vitaliy, but given the political situations right now, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you for some perspective as someone from that part of the world.
I try to stay away from the political statements, and I've been invited to the different news channels too, because things that I do and organized in the Russian festival, getting involved with the Ukrainian communities, traveling all over the United States. I try to stay away from that. I can just tell that war is the last thing that we should consider. We shouldn't consider. There's always a way to communicate and find a good connection, negotiate, and a diplomatic way to deal with things. So definitely war is the last thing that we should go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Any others? In that case, Vitaliy, what I will do, if you'll give me just a moment, I'm going to turn you over to one of our club members, Kristen, for a word of thanks. So give me just a moment.
Vitaliy, thank you so much for all of the information you shared. I feel like you gave us about an hour's worth of information in a 20-minute time slot. So well done. A good Rotarian can do that. But the direct exposure that we benefit from the different cultures is huge in the program that you're doing. Been a Rotarian for a lot of years and have honestly never heard of the Rotary Children's Fund. So thank you so much for enlightening us. We have some gift cards to say thank you. We're going to drop these in the mail to you, so they will be at your house when you get home, hopefully. And please come back and visit us in person when you're back in town.
Thank you, Kristen, and thank you, Vitaliy. I agree with that. Warp speed presentation is an awful lot of information delivered in a very quick pace, so I appreciate that, a lot to do. And I can't imagine the energy that it takes to have 50 young people and to keep them organized and moving around the country. It's got to be quite a task. Let me recognize a couple of great days ahead of us in the next week or so. If you see Reggie Scales, wish Reggie a happy birthday. His birthday is on Sunday. Here with us, Jim Lovejoy. Next Monday has a birthday. Congratulations, Jim. Online with us, I saw John Rigsby earlier. John today celebrates 28 years as a member of the Cary Rotary Club, so congratulations, John. Knowing John's focus on perfect attendance, I felt compelled to do the calculation. So this is, if my calculations are correct, his 1,456th consecutive Cary Rotary Club meeting. So thank you, John. And Bob Myron, thank you for that great prayer pledge to lead us off. Happy anniversary to you and Bonnie as of next Monday. Next week, Bruce Howell has our program. Professor David McClellan, who's a political scientist and analyst from Meredith College, will join us, if I've got the date correct this time, Bruce. We'll look forward to seeing him. Our meal will be a meal of crispy chicken salad with blue cheese, bacon, tomatoes, and avocado. So for the calorie conscious among you, don't eat the crispy chicken. In 2 weeks, David Coulter has our program, and he's arranged to have Tom Price come and give us a presentation on self-driving cars. So we'll look forward to that. I want to thank Vitaliy for joining us, Leon for arranging his speaking with us, Dale, Aiden, Brant, thank you so much for joining us today. We're thrilled that you could be with us, and we're looking forward to getting to know you better as we move forward. So I will ask at that for Mr. Tim Mannix to lead us out on the four-way test.
Things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We are adjourned. Everybody.